Hey, guess what we're doing today? That's right, it's Starlink in SpaceX. That's pretty epic. Oops. So yeah, today is SpaceX Starlink launch off a Falcon 9 rocket. And hopefully everything will go okay, and hopefully there'll actually be a booster landing this time, because last time there wasn't. The time before that there was, and the time before that there wasn't. So hopefully they do that, and then everything will be good. I think the next launch that's scheduled after this one, I think it's the Demo 2 crew mission, which is very good. Appears SpaceX is starting up, so let's just switch to that. Greetings, Facili. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know I've seen you here before though.
Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, and you are looking at a live view of Falcon 9 as it awaits its 3:31 p.m. Eastern Time launch
So
from
this is
39X
SpaceX live
Kennedy
stream.
Space Center in Florida. Hello from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne,
You can
California.
definitely tell that
Today
that
is our
booster's
final
flown
launch day
before
of the
though.
New
It's all
Starlink mission.
burned
Today,
up, and
you are watching a live
it
webcast
looks
for
pretty
our seventh
funny.
Starlink mission and our seventh mission this year. To date, we've launched over 360 Starlink satellites to orbit, and as a reminder, Starlink is a constellation of satellites that can provide high-speed,
I
low-latency
think one of these
communication
fairings is
services
also being
particularly
reused.
in remote areas
One of
where
the
internet
side
service is
shell
limited or
pieces.
completely unavailable.
I don't think. I think one of
As
them's new.
mentioned
One of
today,
them's
on your screen will be
been used
offline today
before.
for the fourth time. It previously supported Crew Dragon's first demonstration mission to the International Space Station back in March of 2019, the launch of the RadarSat constellation mission in June 2019, and the January 2020 launch of the Starlink mission.
Oops.
Just like our first stages, we are also starting to reuse our fairings. Today we are flying a reused fairing which previously flew on the Amos 17 mission last year. I mentioned that this booster flew on Crew Dragon's first demonstration mission to the space station, and if you follow SpaceX, you know the date for our second demo mission is May 27th. It'll be a historic mission launching American astronauts from U.S. soil to the International Space Station for the first time since 2011, and we'll touch on that more later on in the broadcast. If for any reason there is a hold on the countdown today, we do have a backup launch window opportunity tomorrow at 3:16 p.m. Eastern. So with that, all systems are go for an on-time liftoff this evening. Now, you may recall during our last Starlink mission, there was an early engine shutdown on
Mm-hmm.
Falcon 9's first stage during ascent.
And then the
The Falcon
booster
9's first stage
crashed.
completed its mission as it was designed to in the
But
event of an
Starlink
engine
satellites got
failure,
into
return
orbit.
the satellites to their intended orbit. Since then, our engineers determined that the issue stemmed from a small amount of isopropyl alcohol, which is a cleaning fluid, that became trapped inside of a
Is that
connecting
rubbing
inlet
alcohol?
or an area where it couldn't flow through, and then it ignited. We did not perform that cleaning process on the rocket supporting today's mission, and all 9 Merlin engines, which were test fired on the pad just last week, are looking healthy ahead of flight. Prior to today's launch, the vehicle was housed in our hangar at Launch Complex 39A until about 24 hours ago, when the rocket, along with the Starlink payload, was rolled out to the pad and raised vertical. The bottom 2/3 of the vehicle that you can see there,
Oh yeah, it's launching off of 49A.
you can actually see the soot markings left over from its last flight. The first stage is what accelerates the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to the edge of
That's
space
cool.
with the help of the 9
SpaceX made it look
Merlin
really
engines
good.
of the rocket.
When it was like
Today
the
we're going
shuttle
to attempt to
era,
recover the first stage
49A pad,
on our
I
Falcon
don't
9
think it
launch
looked very
vehicle,
good. It was kind
which
of
you can see
a
there,
big mess.
and it's currently stationed about 350 nautical miles northeast off the Cape. Above the first stage is the second stage, which has a single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine, which ignites after the first stage separates. The second stage is what will carry the Starlink satellites into an elliptical orbit above the Earth's surface. From there, they'll use their propulsion systems to move up to their operational altitude of 550 kilometers. Falcon 9 began loading propellants at T-minus 35 minutes. And as a reminder, we use a rocket-grade kerosene, or RP1,
RP1.
as our fuel, and super-chilled liquid oxygen, or LOX, as our oxidizer to power the Falcon 9. Currently, RP1 and LOX are nearly fully loaded on both stages, and LOX will continue to be topped off right up until the last minute of the countdown. The stack of 60 Starlink satellites is safely enclosed inside of the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which you can see there, that pointed cone at the very top of the rocket. This protects the satellites from aerothermal heating, aerodynamic loads, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit. We won't be attempting to catch the fairing halves in our nets today, as our boat and fairing software are undergoing upgrades. But weather permitting, we will try to recover them from the water using our recovery ships Miss Truth and Miss Cheek.
I've seen those in real life. It's pretty interesting.
See, the water is
Over by Port Canaveral.
stay tuned. Now, if you've been tracking the lead up to today's launch, you know that the weather has been a watch item for the last several days, with tornado warnings moving through the area.
Hopefully everything's okay.
However, we're in the hangar as the storm passed, so we didn't see any adverse impacts as a result of that weather. And today, it's looking like a beautiful day for a launch. So with that, the vehicles, the satellites, weather, and range are all looking good for an on-time liftoff just a few minutes from now.
Nice. So hopefully everything goes good. I like all the shots they provide, SpaceX. They're very good at that. Very good at.
SpaceX and NASA are now
Yeah.
May 27 for Falcon 9's launch of Crew Dragon's second demonstration.
So May 22nd. It's the 22nd of April, right? Today. So that's like a month. A month from now. Since the shuttle. That was like 9 years ago. Wow. 2011. I think it was Atlantis that launched.
Certified for NASA for operational crew missions to and from the International Space Station. Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley will be the first two NASA astronauts to fly aboard Crew Dragon after completing countless hours of training.
And of course, they'll ride in on a Tesla Model 3, or no, Model X. Because of course, you have to drive into the rocket on a Tesla when you're SpaceX astronauts. Actually, they're NASA astronauts. But they're riding on a SpaceX craft, so they have to ride in on that Tesla Model X.
The worm was brought back to mark the return of human spaceflight on American rockets from American soil with the Demo 2 mission. Once Demo 2 is complete, and the SpaceX and NASA teams have reviewed all the data for certification, NASA astronauts Victor Glover, Mike Hopkins, Shannon Walker, and Jackson astronaut Soichi Noguchi have been assigned to fly on Dragon's first 6-month operational mission, which we are calling Crew 1 and are targeting for later this year.
I'd say
We are
if
just
everything is just normal
4 minutes away from
and
liftoff
like
of
everything
Falcon
gets
9,
fixed and stuff or
our
whatever,
first stages of the countdown. The first and
like
second stages
if everything goes to plan, I'd probably say that'd probably be sometime in like July,
liquid oxygen.
maybe June. Things have sort of slowed down recently with the satellite launches and
The first stage of the
Starlink
mission
launches
logs in
even.
at
I
T
think the
minus
last one was
15
like
seconds. The
3 weeks
second stage
ago, which
begins
is
at minus
not
21 seconds.
usually SpaceX every other week launches a
Oxygen is
rocket.
going to top
Not
off. Stage
maybe
is
not
at
that
minus
often,
2
but
minutes. And as I
it's definitely
mentioned,
slowed down a lot.
liquid oxygen is going to continue to top
3
off
minutes.
up until the
Hopefully it
booster.
doesn't get scrubbed.
At T minus 60 seconds, be sure to listen for the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. That means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown. The Starlink payload continues to be healthy. The Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. Weather is looking really good and the range is green for launch. So with all that, let's just sit back and listen in to the last few minutes of the countdown.
3 minutes. Microsoft. Pad 49A, it looks really nice. Like the black and white, it just looks really good. Futuristic. And it goes well with the Falcon, the Falcon 9, Block 5 at least. And not like the the earlier versions of it. The all white didn't. It really didn't look as good as the black and white. Like it's not all black, but it's not all. It's sort of like half and half, or like 40-60, I guess. 60% white, 40% black. I don't know. It looks nicer than the older versions. Startup. Now it's going. The rocket's gonna be autonomous. It's gonna control itself. So now, if the rocket thinks something's wrong or like something doesn't seem right, it can scrub the flight itself. And it actually happened, I think, last Starlink launch. There was something, or it may have been CRS-20. There was some sort of um, error or something, and like it started up, like the engines almost started up, and then it cut the engines and it was aborted. Luckily, everything was okay. 20 seconds.
T minus 15 seconds. 10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome for Toxic. Or V Toxic. Liftoff? Hey! There we go. Wasn't scrubbed. The camera's cut out. Those 9 Merlin engines, they're beautiful. Nominal. The Falcon 9, man, it's just such a pretty rocket. Yeah. Successful liftoff.
Moments ago, we throttled the engines down and we'll throttle back up just in a second for preparation for max Q.
Max Q is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Max Q stands for maximum aerodynamic pressure,
supersonic.
which are the highest stresses
And
that
we're
the
about to
vehicle
hit
will
it
see during ascent.
right. Call out's gonna be like right now. No, right
Maximum
now.
aerodynamic pressure.
There we go. There's the call out.
Now, coming up in about a minute, we will have three events
That's one of my
happening
favorite shots.
back to back. First is main engine cutoff, or MECO. This is where all 9 M1D engines will shut off to slow the vehicle down in preparation for the second event, which is stage separation. This is where the second stage will separate from the first stage, with stage 1 making its way back down to Earth for landing, and stage 2 kicking off that third event that I mentioned, which is SES1, or Second Engine Start 1.
Seco.
This is where
Yeah,
the MVAC engine
recently
will
the
light up and
Starlink
propel the
launches have
second
been
stage
doing
along
that
with the Starlink
setup
satellites
instead
to
of
orbit.
having like a burn with the second stage and then having like Seco much later, like over the Atlantic or something.
Expecting MECO to occur in about 30 seconds.
It's really high up now. The live stream, SpaceX live stream's kind of distorted or whatever.
MECO.
On
Stage
HD.
separation confirmed.
Oh, that's a good shot
Successful
too.
MECO. Successful stage step. And it appears we have reignited or ignited that second stage engine for SES1.
Good. And then that first
Now we're just a few
stage
seconds
is gonna
from
come
fairing
down.
deploy.
Good friends.
Again, this fairing has flown before on a
Gonna
previous mission.
come out and it's gonna guide it down to the drone ship. I think it's, of course I still love you. I think just read the instructions. They still.
This grid fence
Rocka's
opening up.
Super Gamer, welcome.
Fairing separation confirmed.
I think just
And we have fairing
fairings.
separation.
look at all those
We have
Starlink
successfully
satellites.
reused
Those
this
may
fairing.
be
Now
providing
those
you
have been
Wi-Fi
making
in
their
the
way back
future.
down to the sea,
And
where hopefully
something
we
on
can
our
scoop them
computer
up.
just got unplugged. Those might be giving you Wi-Fi
So on the left
in
side
the
of your
future.
screen, you have stage 1, which is making its way down to the drone ship.
Uh-oh,
And on the right,
ice
you have
chunks.
stage 2, that MVAC engine burning with 250,000 pounds of thrust.
There's a lot of ice chunks this time.
The grid fins appear to be fully deployed at this point.
Hopefully it lands unlike
Now, while
last
stage 2
time.
continues on with the primary mission, stage 1's got its own plans. It's going to execute 2 burns prior to landing. The first is the entry burn. That's where we will reignite 3 of the M1D engines, which will help slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere. Shortly thereafter, we'll have a second burn, which we call the landing burn. This is a single engine burn that brings the vehicle's
They used to call it the
velocity
suicide burn.
down rapidly in order to land safely on the drone ship. At the same time, during that burn, you'll see the landing legs that are currently folded up along the side of the rocket are going to deploy.
Oops. My bad.
MVAC is looking good right now. It looks a little overexposed on that image there, but we can still see the plume coming out, and we're still hearing good data. So while we're 2 minutes away
Stage
from
2 is
entry
on an
burn,
upward trajectory.
just a note on these Starlink satellites, these 60 will be joining the constellation that's already on orbit. As we mentioned, we've launched more than 360 satellites. And again, these are to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people down on that globe that you see on the right side of your screen. The MVAC engine on stage 2 is at full power and on a nominal trajectory.
Nice.
Now, as stage 1 is making its way down, again, there are no engines burning while it's doing this. It's basically coasting using the grid fins to steer, and you can see those white puffs.
Yeah, there's very
Occasionally,
thin atmosphere
that's cold
still.
nitrogen gas that is being used for attitude control, part of our ACS
More ice.
system, or attitude control
Lots of
system.
ice chunks this time.
That entry burn should be coming up here in about 15 seconds. Meanwhile, stage 2 continues on as planned.
So now they're gonna ignite 3 of those Merlin engines, and it's gonna start slowing down, give it more control in the atmosphere.
Stage 1
there we
entry
go.
burn startup.
Don't cut out.
This burn goes for about 20 seconds. Four engines burning at once right now.
I think I just heard somebody's phone on the live stream. Like the SpaceX live stream.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Alright, successful shutdown of that entry burn. Meanwhile,
Okay.
stage 2.
It's further than we got last landing attempt.
Alright, full
Hopefully
screen shine
the
here.
drone ship cameras come
There we
back
go.
on.
Now this burn on stage 2 is going to continue up until you hear the call out of SECO 1, or second engine cutoff 1. You're going to hear that pretty quickly after landing.
Stage 1 entry transonic.
Transonic, which doesn't that just mean that it's no, that's subsonic. Does that mean it's going? It's like in a trajectory to be supersonic? I don't know.
Alright, MVAC D is beginning to throttle down, getting ready for that second engine cutoff.
That first, the second stage vacuum optimized
Stage 1
Merlin
landing
engine
burn
gets
startup.
really like red hot. Oh, here we go.
Alright, that landing burn has started. Let's see if we can see the plume.
Don't
review
go
from
in the.
drone
Don't
ship.
take a dive in the ocean. Don't take a dip in the pool. What did the British call it?
Stage 1
The
landing leg
pond.
deploy.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
There it
Hey,
is.
it's really grainy. Hey, hey.
Let's see.
I can't tell. I think it
got
landed.
cheers.
I think it landed, guys.
We have a
Yeah.
rocket. Awesome. This is the 4th landing for this booster.
Nice. 4th landing. Let's go.
And as you can hear, everybody here is super stoked to see it there.
4th
Great.
landing.
Gorgeous day.
So
Gorgeous rocket.
that's pretty nice. And it was like spot on. Right in that bullseye.
All right. And we have second engine cutoff on stage 2. And we are in a good orbit as well.
Nominal orbital insertion.
All right. So now stage 2 is going to coast in this orbit for a few minutes. And during this time, the stage will actually start to
Otherwise,
spin around
keep
its central
expecting.
axis, which gives the Starlink satellites the momentum that they need in order to space themselves out over time after they deploy. We're going to take a quick break and come back here at T plus 14 minutes.
14 minutes. So there we go. We had a successful landing, which is nice. So there we have it. So yeah. I'm just gonna unplug this. Boop. There's a flash drive that kept on doing something, making noise. So, successful booster landing, well, we haven't had a successful deploy yet, and they said they weren't going to try to catch the fairings, but they were going to, what did they say? They said they were going to fish them out, but they couldn't catch them. I don't know why. We haven't had a deploy yet, but,
Yeah, payload's been up.
So that was a interesting live stream. We had, I already said this, but successful landing, which is, we haven't had, it's been 2 Starlink launches already, and both of those have actually either landed one of them landed like super close to the booster, and the drone ship, and one of them like, what happened to the other one? I think it just was lost to sea. But, or they may have terminated. I forgot what happened to the last one. CRS-20 though, which was sort of in between those 2 launches. I think, that one did land successfully. So, but this is the first booster landing and 2 Starlink launches that's been successful. So, that's good. It seems that the satellites are on a good trajectory to be deployed the right way. I don't really want to wait that long though. It says it's not that long, but I don't want to wait any longer. Basically all the non-boring stuff is done, so I'm just gonna end the stream. So thank you for the people that tuned in to watch.
Welcome back to the webcast for Starlink.
Never mind, they just
we
said
have had a successful mission
these
thus far.
guys
We've had it
came
at
back,
stage
but
1,
I'm gonna end it
ascent and
anyways.
landing. And stage
So
2,
thank you all for
got
watching.
the Starlink satellites into a good
Thanks for
orbit
tuning
and is now
in.
coasting and
Bye.
getting
Maybe
ready
I'll do
for
another one
deployment
of
of those Starlink
Cirrus,
satellites.
not Cirrus.
So we're gonna
Crew
listen in for the
Dragon
call
Demo
out. It should come
2,
in
I think,
about 30
is what the crew
seconds or so.
one is going to be
We
called.
won't be able to see
So
that
maybe
right
that.
at that moment.
See you
We'll cut
later.
to
Thanks for
the
Never mind. It's actually,
Payload deployed
it's
and
happening
running.
right now. I thought it was much later. Yeah, they're gonna have
Okay, we
feed.
just heard the call out for payload
I
deploy.
think they
Now,
just said
as
payload
the
deploy.
satellites begin to separate over time, they're going to open up their solar array.
Oh,
and
there
over
it
the
is.
oh, there they go. All right, that's
Beautiful
those
60
Starlink satellites.
Starlinks.
Look at that.
So there you
Glow
go.
around
That's
them.
a good ending. See you later,
Wow.
guys.